driving today?
Today we are driving my 1977, I think it is, HZ Sandman. Alright, so this car, if you've been watching this channel for a little while now, you would have seen this car in the background for a little while now. And it's sort of just always been there. We haven't really spoken about it too much, but what it is my I think it's a 76 HZ Sandman. And yes, I said HZ Sandman. I haven't probably got the years right because it's not technically a HZ. It started life off as a HX. It's just got a HZ front end on it. Yeah, so a bit of history in this car is I built this car just like my HQ with my dad for maybe 14 years ago now. And it started off life as a 6-cylinder. I bought it as a 6-cylinder in it. Basically made it look like as it is now, which is a HZ Sandman replica. And I drove it like that for, I think probably while I was on my P's. And then as soon as I got off my P's, I ripped that out and put it in the 308. And haven't looked back since.
So this actually has the same gearbox that the HQ has. So that's why Michael knew a little bit about the conversion, because he had already done the conversion in this car before we did it in the HQ. So it's got a T5 in it, a Ford 6-cylinder T5.
Yeah, Falcon T5 out of it now.
Falcon T5, and the reason why we put it into his HQ as well was because this car just drove so damn good with it.
Yeah. So when I got the 308 for this car, it was an unopened 308 that I bought from a friend that supposedly worked. And I was doing it on a very strict budget. I only had a couple of grand to spend. I think I spent $1,000 on the engine back then, if that. And I didn't have a gearbox to go with it, but I heard rumours of people putting T5s behind it, and I thought, geez, that sounds like a good idea. And you get the 5-speed as well too. So I did. This has a Castlemaine Rod Shop conversion kit in it. The T5 I just bought from a wrecker back when you could get them for like $50. Back when they were worth nothing. Now they're actually starting to be worth money again. And I did it, and it's been the best thing I ever did for this car, because this car is actually a really, really nice car to drive.
Well, I remember when you told me to drive at Bright a few years ago, you said, go drive my HQ, and then he put me in this car, and he's like, what do you prefer better? And I said, this car.
Yeah. This car was always the car that I grabbed the keys for, because it is such a nice car to drive. The clutch is light, it's a cable clutch, but it is light. The transmission is perfect, the ratios are great. It's got some pep, but it seems to be losing pep the more and more I drive it. Alright, we're going to do a 0 to 100. So we're going to judge this by a calendar rather than a stopwatch. Ready?
Set, go.
Wow, that's the first time I've ever done that.
I already said that. That was great.
Ready?
Do it again. Ready, set, go.
Come on! Pretty sure a 308 shouldn't be this slow. Yeah.
15.81.
15?
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad. That's worse than the Q was. I want to get quicker than 14.
I think it's all on this start. All right.
Ready?
Ready, set, go. Nah, that was shit.
Awkward shifts though. Now.
Oh, nice.
14.
Nice. 14.27.
14-second car.
You know what the funny thing is? His cars do a quarter mile quicker than that. And you're just getting to 100.
Yeah, look, she ain't no speed demon. She's a cruiser.
Oh my god, that's funny.
That was giving her everything she got, that last one there. So, why are we driving this car today? We're driving this car today through the beautiful town of Williamstown, because where else would you want to drive a panel van rather than by the coast? Even though neither of us can surf.
That's why we don't have a surfboard in the
Worst
back.
Australians ever. The reason why we're driving today is because you guys have been asked to see this for a long time, and I think it's about time that we bring it onto the channel. But what that means. Why is it coming in the channel? Well, it needs an engine rebuild. This engine, like I said, was unopened when I got it, and it's been working, and it runs fine. It's probably my most reliable car. The only trouble is, it's a bit like Puff and Billy. It leaves a trail of smoke everywhere it goes. So it's done its rings or its valve seals or something. I assumed that it was really down on compression, but we looked into that today, so we should probably jump back to that and show what we found when we went through the compression, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
All right. So what we need to do, or what we thought we'd do, to find out just how sad this engine is actually do a little bit of a compression test, just to see what we're actually playing with here. And it's just got no balls left in it anymore, does it, Nate?
No balls.
Yeah, it's a bit sad. So we're going to pull the spark plugs out, and we're going to see. Mainly because I've never done a compression test before, so I want to see what it's all about and learn just how bad this engine is. We just do one to start with and see how bad it is. Oh, this poor engine. The other thing that I noticed, you know how you tell me whether you should goop gaskets or not?
Yeah.
This thing has the worst exhaust manifold leak. Alright.
Sure. Oh, okay.
115? Yeah, 115.
That's not that bad, is it? Well, I don't know. What's good? What is good?
I was reading the YouTube video that I was watching today said anywhere between 100 and 100 plus is good.
Yeah.
So 115 isn't that bad, but we do have a HQ book. Maybe that'll tell us.
Yeah.
I was expecting to see like 20.
I was expecting to see like 80 or 70.
5 litre V8. I don't know what I'm looking for.
All right. Yep. Yep. 115 again.
Oh, okay. I don't know if that's bad.
Well, it's showing consistency so far.
Maybe it's just consistently bad. This tube is so annoying to get started, isn't it?
Yep.
We can always just hold it. Go. Stop. Nope, that don't work. That felt good though, there was compression in there.
Yeah.
That was going pop, pop, pop.
Hey, what was it going?
Pop, pop, pop. I feel like one of those rappers. Is that how kids are doing it these days?
Yeah, I think so.
Stop. 110. Stop. 115 again. Well, that's it. We've compression tested it. That all went well. Apart from the dead battery at the beginning. But yeah, consistently it shows like around the 115, 120 mark. So at least it's consistent. Whether it's consistently bad or consistently good yet, we don't know. From the quick research that we just did then, we could see sounds like they should be around 150, I think it was, we read, or something.
Yeah, I think
like
150, 140 they said.
140, 150 like that. I don't know, we haven't read it. Surprise, surprise, we haven't done the research. But I was just curious, I was just wondering how bad it actually is, but at least now we know. So tell us if that's bad.
Or if it's good.
Yeah. Now see if we can get started after we just had no fuel running for a little while.
God, this thing starts good.
I know, why did I go sniper in the HQ? Shall we go for a drive?
Yeah, let's do it.
She still sounds good though. She's got that typical 308, as many would say, thong slap at note.
You can kind of tell it goes into one because it's just all out the left side right now.
Yeah.
So it's 25 degrees in Melton today, and if you own a panel van, you got to open the back.
It's just the only way you just can do it.
We don't have a surfboard to stick out the back, but I feel like just having it open is good enough.
The good thing is though, when you do open the boot, it gets much louder. It actually sounds alright, doesn't it?
It gargles a lot like a 304, like an injected 304.
It does. I do like the exhaust in this thing. It does sound...
Holy crap, but you cop the whiff back. Jesus Christ.
You can smell the oil, can't you?
Oh, we're going to die of carbon monoxide poisoning by just cruising Willy.
I know. It's shocking, isn't it? It's bad.
You know what might help it?
What?
Dumpies. because it doesn't end at the back of the vehicle. It ends under the vehicle, and then your tyres are going to help push the emissions out, and then it's not going to float back in.
You reckon that's going to work? Is that what you reckon's going to work?
That's my hypothesis.
Hypothesis. You should write a thesis.
Thesis. It does sound better.
When the secondaries kick in, and now you wait for the exhaust.
Yeah, the exhaust comes back now. Oh, I have to put the window down.
Yeah.
Fresh air.
So yeah, when we got this thing, 16 years ago now, it was rough. I'll see if I can find some photos of it, but it was, looking at it now, I would go, I wouldn't bother with it. It was too far gone. But back at the time, I was 16, I had nothing better to do. So we fixed it, but it was a good shell. There was no rust in here where they usually bubble through here. You seen them, Nath, where they bubble through the ceiling?
Yeah, and they bubble in the back pillars as well.
Yeah, because all they are is just a ute with a big clamshell roof that they just stuck onto it essentially. All the rust was in here, it leaked in the windshield, and then the floor had gone, so we replaced basically the whole scuttle pan. That's why, for the Keno viewers, Keno Holden guys, you'll notice it's got WB washer jets on it, because it's a WB scuttle. Other things that we did is the windows. There were windows here, we filled them in obviously, because I wanted to get that clean look.
There used to be a domed window here, wasn't there, Michael?
There was no domed windows
full
in this
moon
thing.
window,
No,
huh?
there was no domed windows in this one. This was not 70 spec, this thing, or 80 spec. Where was the real?
I think it was 70s, 80s.
70s, 80s, yeah.
So interior wise, she's basically just stock standard. You did change all the dash in that, didn't you?
Yeah, the dash has just changed to a yellow needle dash. I think that's HZ, GDS dash. Got that for an absolute bargain, $500 back in the day, could you believe it? Actually $450. But yeah, nothing too fancy, it's just black everywhere, black on black for interiors as I like.
No, it looks good, the interior in this.
Which is great on a
Simple.
summer's day, you're in a massive sweatbox with black vinyl interior.
Which was us today.
Yep. But there's a lot of things as well too that we need to fix in this car as well when we do the engine.
Well, the indicator stock plays up.
Yeah, so when you go to indicate left, every now and again it doesn't want to do that. Right's fine, left, no good. The other thing is too that this sun visor is held up by a bit of coat hanger because that falls down when you're driving. So that's there just to keep it there for the minute. Again, this is a 16-year-old restoration that I haven't really done anything to ever since, apart from put a 308 into it. So
And the radio as well.
Oh, and we'll probably go back to original radio on this as well too, because now that I look at that, I can't stand looking at it now. It needs some TLC, just like the HQ did.
Yeah,
a few things
it
here
just
and
needs a big go over.
there. Under the bonnet, it's pretty basic. It's just a stock standard 308, the sort of look that we did. Nothing fancy. You can see we just painted it with a rattle can and it's starting to peel off. It's showing its age, but it's held up pretty well. This is very similar sort of build to what I did when we built that one. It's basically second-hand parts all cleaned up as much as I could, and it was done on a budget. So it's rough. It's not a show car by any means, but I use my cars, I drive my cars, I enjoy them. So you can see the scuttle where it was repaired. We just re-welded back in the original spot weld, so you'd never even know that it's ever been replaced. That was a task and a half. That was a lot of work, but well worth it in the end, obviously. It's running EL thermo fans, my favourite budget EL thermo fans. I reckon we probably have 4 or 5 sets of EL fans at the moment in the workshop. I don't know why.
Now to gain another set.
Yeah, but we've just got heaps of them. Loki agrees, they're really good fans. Thanks Loki for chiming in there. Really good for budget builds. They just work really well. This car, it's a bit of a bitter. Like obviously it's not an original Sandman as well too. I don't know if we spoke about it yet.
I don't think we have.
It's not an original Sandman. It's a replica. So it's a replica, so that's why all the modifications that I've done, including the 308 swapping that out and the T5 conversion and the HZ front end, doesn't worry me because I'm not ruining anything that's of any great value. It's just a stock standard 202 panel van, basically, I reckon is what it was.
So you're probably wondering if there's a fireplace installed in the back of this car, you know, a stone wall, you know, maybe a couch, maybe a waterbed, maybe a nice thick rug. What else do they do? A big mural of of a demon slaying a dragon or something like that, I can assure you, it's nothing but darkness.
Yeah, no, nothing quite as exciting than that.
No fireplaces in here, no beds in here. Unfortunately, no TV screens. Oh, sorry, no record players. Tape decks, subs.
Old school big TVs, like not flat TVs.
Yeah, just big, bulky TVs. All we've got is 2 speaker boxes with 6x9s.
Yep. And tie down points.
And tie down points. It's a little disappointing. I'm sure there's a few people out there that were hoping for a fireplace and stuff like that. But there's nothing back here.
No, I never did anything with it back because we use this as a workhorse, don't we?
Yeah, we've actually taken this up to the rod shop and stuff like that and picked up parts.
Yeah,
so
I've picked up many parts in the back of this. That's why I've actually
put the tie down points.
Put some tie down points in. And
so the other good thing is it's actually got headlining the whole way of the car.
yeah, that's the one thing that we did do to obviously make it look more like a Sandman.
So I didn't know that. The panel vans that we had, I'd never seen headlining the whole way. It was just raw steel.
Yeah.
And the headlining ended at the cab.
I think only Sandman's had the full length, that's why.
There you go. But yeah, no, it looks good, the headlining the whole way.
The only thing I have done is we made up just some infills in there, some cloth infills just to basically fill the wall in, just to make it look a little bit neater. But other than that, she's basically stock standard, just with some carpet down. There's actually MDF underneath that carpet.
Ah.
That's so that when you sat on it, you didn't have the ribs from the floor annoying you. But yeah, that's pretty much a Sandman. There's really not that much to it. She's a good girl, this one. She's
fun to drive. I went for a drive this morning. Yeah, I like driving it. I like driving that more though, because you can rev that out a bit harder.
Yeah, this one just doesn't really have the spirit behind it, does it?
No. But I'm keen to start working on this, do the engine in it.
Yeah.
Which is what our big debate is.
Yeah. So let's talk about that, shall we?
Yeah.
So that brings us to the big dilemma. If we're going to rebuild it, do we rebuild it stock, which would be the easiest option, obviously,
Or do we build a 355?
Oh yeah, or 355, or even just a hot 308.
Yeah, or a hot 308, yeah.
Where we're at the minute is we don't know what to do with this thing. I wasn't really planning on building it just yet, but we're sort of at the point now where I thought if I don't rip the engine out eventually, I'm never going to get around to it, so let's just rip the engine out and then I'll deal with it then. But now that I'm sort of at that stage, I was planning on just doing an original 308 rebuild and just chuck it back in, but all this talk about the VK and the 355 got me thinking, maybe I need a 355 in my life. But in saying that, there's a few restraints that we sort of have with this car. That being it has, like we spoke about before, it's got the 6-cylinder T5 out of a Falcon behind it, which, as far as I'm aware, they reckon that they're good for a mild 308. And I don't know, but I'm pretty sure a 355 is a little bit more than a mild 308. So whether that's going to handle it, and also the diff, is the diff going to handle it as well too? Because it's just a standard, the Banjo, I think it is, diff in it as well. And I have a budget of around, I wouldn't really want to spend more than 5 or 6 grand said and done. Below 5 would be great, but let's be honest, it's going to go to 6 or probably more. So that's our dilemma. We're trying to figure out what we do with it now. So give us your thoughts. What would you do in this situation?
Let us know what you would do with a panel van, a Sandman, with an empty back and a shitty engine. Let us know.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments. What do you reckon we should do?
Yeah.
Reasonable. We're not going to 383 it or LS it or anything like that. I'm just trying to maybe pep it up a little bit. Like, do I go Carby? Do I go Sniper? Because the Sniper's working really well for me so far.
We're not going Sniper.
Yeah, probably not Sniper at this stage. The Sniper really has to impress me now. What would you do with it?
Me?
Yeah.
You really want to know what I would do?
What would you do?
Do you really want to know what I would do?
Yeah, what would you do?
Okay. I would personally put 355 in it.
Yeah.
I'd put a power glove behind it.
Yeah.
I'd tub it. I'd put a set of welds. I'd put a set of skinnies at the front. I'd bring the back down a bit. I'd bring the front up a bit. And give it that rake. Probably do, a McDonald Brothers rear end.
That all sounds awesome, but remember that 5 to 6 grand budget?
I'm good at blowing budgets. I'm Ford guy.
Yeah,
I get 6-cylinder and put 7 on the side.
We're going war whistle. I want to keep it stock looking. Yeah, I'd like the engine to look, like a 308 when you look at it as much as you can. I don't know what to do at this stage, so you guys are going to help me decide. My bank account will probably not help me at all decide because I know what that wants, and that is leave it as it is. But we need to fix it. She's a bit slow and sluggish. and very uninspiring.
Yeah.
Anyway, hope you have enjoyed our little intro to the Sandman. Not sure when we'll see it just yet because I'm not going to rip the engine out straight away. I need to do a bit of research because I have done literally none. We started this video with literally no idea what engine or combination we're going to do to it yet, so it might be a little while before we actually rip the engine out, or we might get started. Who knows? We've done stupider things before.
Yeah.
But if you have liked this episode and you'd like to see more, please make sure that you subscribe and give the video a like. It helps us out a lot. And remember, comment your ideas as to what you reckon we should do to this thing. Head on over to the website if you'd like to help support buy parts for this. Other than that, we'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah.
A power glide, really? What? I'd stick manual. I've got to stay manual.
Yeah, I know you wouldn't go all day, but I like the manual. I think it would be fun with the manual.
Rodney's back inspecting our work before we start on his XY again. You're really concerned, aren't you?
He is concerned.
I'd be concerned.
Yeah.
We haven't got any parts big enough to start yet.
Yeah, we need an engine, Rodney. Can't do much without an engine. Is that what it's going to look like, is it?
Ow!
With 20-inch globes.
Except orange stripe.
No, keep telling you that.
Put it to the people. XY GT Wild Violet, orange or gold stripes? What do we reckon?
It's not their car.
Alright.
Ready?
3, 2, 1. Just go. Just ride it out. Just ride it out.
There.
Whoa! 14!
Even banging it.
14.5.
How does that work? I banged it that time.
Science!
Taking the HQ out is one thing, but taking the Sandman out, people love them. The Sandmans just have that appeal
Oh
about
man,
them.
you just get looks left, right and centre. Sandman! Oh, I remember being in the back of one of those.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of people do. A lot of people do. On a record.
Yeesh, boy.
Yeesh.
Yeesh.
You gotta do that, it helps with sinking.
That's it?
Yeah. And I reckon it must have been on the tree as well too. What? I know, you're hungry. It's dinner time. We're nearly done. Go inside. Good work. Yes, that's what I meant. Sit down. Good work. Good dog.